this chat, you gotta say something. If you're ready, say, I'm ready. Say she ready. Y'all give it up for the wonderful Darlaina Rose, because she is ready.
Ready.
One more time. Booyah. Go ahead.
Thank you.
On the mic.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Every time I be thinking I know what I'm gonna talk about in advance, stuff comes up and just be like, no, you're not. You're not
today.
Not today. So today is gonna be family time. Today is storytelling time. Because good morning, Pomolo. You're back. Pomolo, yes, Pomolo. I was thinking last night,
hold on.
Okay, go ahead. Hey,
didn't I ask y'all to type in the chat? Y'all ready? Just say I'm ready.
I'm ready. Good morning. Hey, shooter, welcome. You got to come to
Atlanta. Act like y'all ready. God dang it, I'm ready. All right, now we're gonna give it over.
Now we ready. Now we ready. Y'all go ahead and whoever's in my social spaces, go ahead and tap those screens and put those likes and go ahead and share this out because we growing around here.
Amen.
So what came up for me? Yesterday I got a phone call from somebody I've been knowing over 10 years, and somebody in their family was diagnosed with cancer. And she said she was crying so hard. And then she said, your name popped in my, hold on. You got me locked up, won't let me out, locked up, won't let me out. I'm locked up, won't let me out. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm unmuted. I said, you got me locked up. And so she said she was crying so hard, at the impending thought of somebody that she loves and care for has cancer. And the first thing came to her mind, she said she was crying for hours. And then my name popped in her thoughts. And she called me immediately. She called me. And she called me and I spoke to her and gave her, what I knew. And I will be on the call today with her and her entire family. So the question becomes, do you know who I am? Do you know what I do? Do you know why I'm in your life? Because that really sparked a thought in my mind that, am I popping up in the minds of people when things are really needed? Or do you think that I'm just the person that shows up every week to give you some good word? Do you know what I really do? Do you know who I really am? And if you don't, you finna find out. So that was really sparked yesterday. I have been chosen by God for a work. I have been chosen to show up and be that intuitive voice that you hear in your head every time you take a bite of food, every time you walk in the grocery store, every time you sit in your doctor's office. I'm the voice that you have been hearing for a long time. I'm here to serve you in a way that probably doesn't exist in your life with anyone else. And if you do have people in your life like me, hey, that's a good thing. But are you listening to those people? Understand that this work that we do is not easy. There's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes that are not easy. But there's a knowledge that I have, life-saving knowledge, because I was chosen by all of the life events that have happened to me. This life started way back in 2003 when I was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. And listening to everything that the doctors told me to do, I know nothing about holistic healing. I knew nothing about naturopathic doctors. I knew nothing about that. All I knew is that if you are sick, you go to the doctor. And so she went to the doctor. And for 2 years, I listened to the doctors, everything that they told me. I went from being this vibrant person that you see now to this lethargic, sickly, can't do anything person. I went from doing everything that I love to do in my life to barely being able to walk, barely being able to breathe. I couldn't walk a flight of steps without losing my breath. I couldn't go outside if it was hot. I couldn't go outside if it was cold. See, heart disease affects everything. It affects all of your life. I couldn't eat steak. Steak makes your heart work harder. So no more of that. Couldn't go outside if it was too hot. And I love the summer because your heart works harder to cool the air that you breathe. Couldn't go outside if it was cold because the heart works harder to warm the air that you breathe. There was times when I needed to go outside that I literally had to put on a washcloth with water in it to cover my face so I can help myself and my heart to breathe better. I was the sickest of the sick. I spent a lot of days in the hospital, a lot of days inpatient, a lot of days outpatient, seeing a whole lot of people. And I remember when I was the sickest, one of my friends who I hadn't seen in a very long time came to my house and she said, I don't like the way you look. You look terrible. And she said some words to me that I will never forget. She said, if you do not take control of your own health care, the doctors are going to kill you. Kill me? No, they trying to help me. What you mean? And she said, they only know what they know. But you have to be an integral part of your own healing. You have got to help yourself. You have to understand how to help you, how to help yourself. Okay, well, how do I do that? And that she told me, she after she said all that, she said, have you heard of The Secret? I said, no, it must be a secret. I don't know what you're talking about. And so she said, well, you should watch it. And that's all she said. You should watch it. And so I didn't watch it right away. I remember going to a bookstore and I was leaving the bookstore and on the counter was the audio of The Secret. I'm like, oh, this is what she was telling me to watch. Let me get it. So I get it and I listen to it. And it sounded so crazy. People was healing themselves. And I said, how are they healing themselves? I need to see the video to this. So I watched the video and I see the woman who had breast cancer healing herself with her thoughts, funny movies, and tea. Then I see the man who was in an airplane crash and he healed himself with his mind. He told himself he was going to walk. They say he was going to be a vegetable. Okay, how is these people doing that? So it sent me down this path of learning. And it started to attract the people that I needed to get the information. And finally, a friend of my mom said, you should go see a holistic doctor. And I'm like, oh what? Was that like a church doctor? Like he holy? Like what's a holistic doctor? I don't know what that is. And so she said, I'm going to take you to somebody. And so she took me to Dr. Wyatt at 40th and Market in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And they studied the kinesiology, the body's energy. I had never heard of it before. I didn't meet Dr. Wyatt at that time. I met somebody that he trained. They literally was in this little teeny storefront. It was kind of dusty in there. They had 3 old little church chairs sitting there. I'm like, why is she bringing me in here? I need to put a mask on because there's so much dust in here. She gonna have me sick. I'm already sick. You gonna have me sicker. And so there was a guy at this counter. It was bottles and tinctures of stuff all around, and he said, "Come, come, come, come." And so I come up, and he said, "Hello, how can I help you?" Then he said, "Don't tell me." Next thing you know, he started doing like this, and he's doing his hand like this, and this hand on this side got his finger, and his finger is doing like this. So his hand is down here with this, and then he's doing this. And I'm like, "Oh, what's happening? I'm a Christian. I don't do voodoo." And he started to laugh. He said, "No, it's not voodoo. It's the study of the body's energy." And so he put his hand on one side of my head. He said, "That's a lot of male stress. That's your husband. There's a lot of male stress on this side. That's your son." And then he said, "What happened to your heart? Are you lactose intolerant? What happened to your hip? What happened to your knee? You got a bunion on your foot." I'm fully clothed and fully dressed. How could this man know this? And he said, "Your body is telling me these things, the energy." And I'm sitting there in awe because he really just read my whole life just now. And so he then starts to pull things down off of off of the cabinets, out of the I mean, uh, supplements, tinctures, all this, and he gets this nice little pile together. And he said, "May I have your hand?" And I'm like, "For what?" He said, "May I have your hand, please?" So he takes my hand, puts it on top of all of the bottles that he has, and then he takes his hand and puts it on top. And he says, "No, no, no." He grabs some things off, puts some other stuff there, takes my hand again, puts his hand on top, my hand on top, and then his hand on top. And he said, "We got it." He then takes a yellow legal pad. He gives me 19 herbs. He says, "Take this time, take that time, take this time, take that time." And then he said, um, "Drink 8 glasses of water a day, exercise for 15 minutes a day, and you will live a long time." I took that remedies that he gave me, and a lot of them I still use to this day. 5 months to the day that he gave me that, my congestive heart failure was healed. That set me on a trajectory of how did you do that? And if you have this book in your hand, How I Got Here, My Holistic Healing Journey, it tells the rest of the story of what happens when I tell my family that I'm no longer on heart medicine when they saw me in the ICU at the hospital and what the doctors told me. And because of the work that I now do, I've learned that my heart disease was a manifestation of a broken heart. I was married for a long time, and during that marriage, I was hurt a lot. And that heartache manifested into heart disease. So anybody you know who has any type of heart issue or heart disease, ask them one question. Ask them, who broke your heart? And they're going to think that you some kind of fortune teller, because they will be able to tell you who broke their heart. And that heartbreak, how it has manifested into the heart disease. And there was a time while I was ill that my heart function had dropped down to 15%. And they told me that I was going to need a heart transplant. And that's when I prayed and asked God, if you get me out of here, I'm going to figure out how to take care of myself, like Betty said. I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to just follow whatever lead I get. Be careful what you ask for. You just might get it. And so with my heart being healed, I'm now going through. Shout, Crystal! I just thought of you this morning. I'm gonna send you that stuff. I promise. Um, and after now, my heart is now healed. I'm now just going through all these things. If you are diagnosed as a baby, that means that now this might be a little bit woo-woo for you, but babies that come here with stuff, they are carrying ancestral trauma. They're carrying trauma from their parents, trauma from their mother, their father, their grandparents. Some of the people in my work right now, I find that they're holding on to horror and terror. Horror and terror come from slave trade and Holocaust and all of these things that have been passed down in your DNA. So it's in your DNA. So that's what we found. And so after taking care of myself, I'm going through a divorce now. My husband said, "Listen, I don't want to do this no more. You good? I'm good. We've been married since we were little kids, and I just don't want to be. I just want to be a bachelor. I just want to be, by myself. Whatever, whatever." And so, no problem. That's what you want. You can't make people love you that don't love you no more or don't want to be with you for whatever reason. So I packed up my grit and I was able to buy me a house. I bought me a house and was living in my house, and he was living in our marital house. 7 months into our separation, I get a call. He's been sick. And he says, "I need you to go to the doctor with me because I know you understand what they talking about." And I'm saying, "Did you call the right number? You sure you was calling me? I think you got the wrong number, bro, because you told me you don't want me in your life." And he was like, "No, for real, stop playing something wrong." So then I said, "Okay, I'm gonna go." I had at this point, I had started my women's organization. This is 2010. We separated in April 2000, no, March 2010. I started the women's group April 2010 because I was hurt so bad. I said, I can't be the only woman. So my sister circle that I now host comes all the way from 2010 till now, because I know that women have to be supported. So the best way to get support when you don't have it in your life is to create a circle where we can circle up and support each other. So that's where that started from. And so he asked me, could I go to the doctor with him? So the day he asked me was my sister circle night. And so I speak to the women, I tell them what happened. They're like, nah, we not doing nothing with him. But then the more elevated women was like, well, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even be here. I had already made my decision that I was going to go. And so the very next day, I go with him to the doctor. And the doctor says, I don't know, like, what's wrong, because I've been treating him for 3 weeks. I've given him every antibiotic, including the ones that give to people with anthrax, and he's still sick. She said, if I were you, I would go and go to the emergency room and don't leave until they tell you what's happening. Matter of fact, no, it was backwards. I went to the doctor with him first, then it was Sister Circle that night. And so when we left the doctor's office, they said go to the ER. I said, I can't go with you today because the my Sister Circle is tonight. And so I said, but I can go with you tomorrow. So that's what happened. I went to the doctor first, then told them. And then the next morning went to the emergency room, and we were there for 12 hours. And after 12 hours, they diagnosed him with cancer. And so I'm now thinking, this is wild right now. Cancer? We don't get cancer. We don't get cancer in our 40s. We don't get stage 4 cancer in our 40s. We don't do that. And so that night was the day it was the day before Thanksgiving. It was Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2010. And so I go and I stay with him at our marital house, and he's just so depressed and so just out of it. And I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do with this information? And so he was having Thanksgiving dinner for the first time with his family without me. He was doing this, and so when I woke up the next morning, I said, I'm gonna go home and I'll come back after your family leaves. So I did just that, came back after the family left. And now it's life is happening now. Now is the question is, what do you do now? Do I go home and stay home knowing this information? So the question then became, if somebody called me and told me that he was dead, would I be okay with that? And after 26 years of marriage, 27 years of marriage, the answer was no. This is the father of my children, the father of our grandchildren. No. So I went home and packed the bag and packed up our then 13-year-old daughter and came back to the house. Because he said, if you could heal your heart, you could heal cancer too. I'm like, that's two different things. It's not the same. He said, I trust you. And he went and got in the bed and left it to me to figure it out. And if you have ever been diagnosed with cancer and have gone to the doctor's office and gone to specialists, the very first visit that we went to, they had 7 different doctors come in and tell us all this doom and gloom. Oh, this could happen, that could happen. You got 6 months to live if you don't do nothing. You got 13 months to live if you get treatment. And he's like, wait a minute, I'm gonna die anyway. Well, I'm gonna trust my ex-wife. I'm gonna trust her. And I remember seeing the oncologist, the whatever, the chemo doctor, the regular doctor, the other doctor, the doctor assistant, the hospital counselor. They sent 7 people in there. By the time we were done, when I tell you that we were balled up on the floor crying together, by the time they just sent a social worker in there because both of us was crying, thinking that everything that they said was going to be true and that he was going to die. But God was so good to give me my experience first, because people really don't come back from congestive heart failure. People don't heal from that. So now I have evidence in my toolbox that I probably can do it. God, if you think I could do it, I'm going to do it. And so we did. I stepped into almost what is it? It felt unreal. It felt like a twilight. Somebody that I really love and care for could potentially die. The father of my kids could die. And so I did everything in my power. We came up with a therapy called the Gerson therapy. The Gerson therapy is a juice for every waking hour, 13 juices every day, every hour, a vegan diet, no dairy, no meat, hydrogen peroxide baths, high dose vitamin C therapy. When I say we jumped in with both feet, we jumped in with both feet. You can't kind of have cancer and kind of do some work. You got cancer, you got to do the work. You got to jump in with both feet. You can't kind of work on it. You got to kind of do it. You got to kind of just do it. Your life depends on it. And some of you are in spaces right now where you kind of got to do it. You kind of got to stop ignoring the high blood pressure. Stop ignoring the diabetes. You got to stop ignoring this stuff like it's going to go away. You got to jump in with both feet and clean this stuff up. This is story time. This is family time. This is me talking to the people that I love. Kent remembers that time when we were sitting at the cabin. Remember we were at the cabin? And I'm watching everybody just chomp down this bad food. And I'm seeing it and I start to cry. He was like, why are you crying? I was like, because they gotta stop eating like this. And I'm crying over food because I know what the food can do. It is not a game. Your body is a machine. It needs what it needs. And when it doesn't get what it needs, when the body is not alkaline, when the body is acidic, you are getting sick. You're sick. You are sick and you gotta get better. And the way you get better is paying attention and taking control. Y'all gotta stop. You got to stop the smoking. You got to stop the drinking. If you are dealing with something chronic or something terminal, you have got to take stock now. You have got to do it now. If you're saying, oh, well, I'm just a little overweight. Well, a little overweight leads to the diabetes, leads to the stroke, leads to the heart attacks, leads to all of it. Some of y'all are a ticking time bomb. And the part that hit me yesterday was, how could it be when you know me? How could it be when you know me? Some of even my own problems is because I haven't reminded you who I am. Because you don't know that I'm the gift that's been sent to you. Because you don't remember that I got the keys. I got the knowledge. I got what you need. And shame on me for not reminding you sooner. Because I wrote it down. I said, I started with LCA in 2014. 2014, I sat on that couch with Kemp and Jamal, and I gave hella information in 2014. And now 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2020, 2021, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093, 2094, 2095, 2096, 2097, 2098, 2099, 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, but you know me. You still overweight. You still got diabetes. You still fighting with these things. For what? You still eating bad. For what? Will you wait until it explodes? Will you wait until your body quits? Will you wait till you end up in the hospital? Will you wait until it's like, oh my God, he died. Oh my God, she died. I promise you, I know what I know. Because it started with me. And when my ex-husband got sick, with all of the work that we did, in 9 months, his cancer was resolved. I have some things in my back pocket. I got some doctors in my back pocket. I got it. It took 9 months of very intensive work. Not no playtime. When I tell you there was no microwave in that house, no non-stick pots, no plastic. When you going in, you got to go in. You can't half do it. I didn't allow people to bring food to the house. I didn't allow people to bring bad attitudes to the house. And if you had one, I kicked you out. If you got a problem with me or our marriage or whatever is going on, I kicked you out. Because it wasn't about none of that. It was about healing somebody. Y'all got sick people in your families. Y'all have dying people in your families. But you know me. How is that possible? What are you telling yourself about Darlaina Rose? What are you saying about her? She got a good message for us every Wednesday. She going to tell us what to do every Wednesday. Is that all you know about me? In 2023, what you going to do now? There's a movie out called Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Some of y'all out here building your business, building your wealth, but you fat and you sick and you nearly dead. But you know me. You building, you must be building it for your grandchildren and your children, because you're not going to be around to enjoy it, because you're taking your health too lightly. Your health is your wealth. How much longer will you put your focus in other places and not on yourself? See, we need you. We need you. We need you. It's on all of it. It's on YouTube for sure. We need you. Whatever you're doing right now is so perfect for your grandkids and your kids. Don't you want to be here to benefit from the new house and the new car and the boat and everything else that you buy? You want to be here to enjoy it. I'm your sister friend. I'm your doctor. I'm the answer. I'm your gift. I'm in your service. I'm your saving grace. We keep thinking we have time. Time is now. You have so much that you have for the world. How dare you live this life sick? How dare you live this life in pain? There's so much that you can do for yourself. The time of shrinking back, toning it down, forgetting why you're here, forgetting why I'm here. Y'all better get your sunglasses on, because the light is on. The light is shining bright. Not stepping back into a space where people don't know what the gift is. I'm not going to let you forget that you can save your people, that you can save yourself. I was chosen. I didn't pick this work. It picked me. We can't tone down our greatness anymore. We can't pipe down, tone down, shrink down. You can't forget you. Because people forget you because you forget you. I'm not doing it no more. That call was heavy. It sparked so much in me that I forgot myself, that I forgot I knew what I knew because I was able to run it down so quick and so fast that she said, I don't know how much you cost, but we gonna pay you. The problem why some of us, and I'm gonna talk about me, have these issues with finances is because we are not in our gift. You're not in that thing that you know. See, I know that stuff. What they say, like the back of my hand. I could tell you what to eat. I could tell you what to do. I could tell you how to cook it. I could tell you how to enhance your life for the better. I know all the how. I am your how. I'm going to remind myself to tell you to stop playing with your life. You are my friends. You are my family. I will not watch the ticking time bombs anymore. All of the stuff, the strokes, the cancers, the heart attacks, the overweight, the blood pressure, the diabetes, and more. I got the answers for all of it. I got the answers right now, today, right here. And in my heart, I love you so much. That made me think of Abraham Hicks. She said, I love you so much because she says, I love you so much. And then she tell you about yourself. I love you so much. But I don't want to watch the ticking time bomb. I was sent here to do something. And we are all suffering because we are shrinking back and forget the gift that God gave me, the gift that God gave me to give you. I am your gift. I am your gift. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be down. You don't have to be hurt. None of it. I am your sister. I am your friend. I'm your doctor. I am the answer. I'm in your service. I know for a fact that if you give your body everything it needs, if you listen to what it's telling you, your body is talking to you always. A little ache in your back. Emotionally, that's support. So if you're feeling not supported, that's your back. If it's your lower back, it's your money. So what does it look like when you say, all right, Darlaina, let's do something? The first time I talk to you, you're going to tell me all of the aches and the pains and all of the medicine and all of the. And then I'm going to tell you the probable emotional cause for everything that you are suffering from. And it could be simple as, why do I have these extra 10 pounds? One of the things that happens to us emotionally when we feel unprotected or exposed in life, we pack on pounds for security. The pounds protect us from the world, protect us from the world that we're in. And when you look back at your life and see when you started to pack on the pounds and you see what was happening in your world, you'll know that you were protecting yourself. We are connected, mind, body, and soul, and there's nothing that we can do about that. So what is going on in the mind affects the body, affects the soul. So your mere weight gain was a protection. Was the body protecting you from the outside world? Things as simple as I'm losing my hearing. I can't hear. You're losing your hearing because you no longer want to hear whatever is in your environment. If you are going blind and you can't see, it's because you no longer want to see the life that you are living. I promise you, if you change what's happening in your environment, change what you hear and change what you see, Your vision will start to resolve itself before you've even done anything. You start to take care of the things that don't feel right. You start to take care of the things around you that are affecting you emotionally. The emotional healing, the emotional cleansing is the beginning of the healing. See, heart disease is a manifestation of a broken heart. My heart was broken many, many times over. Anything in the marriage that could be done was done to me. So everything that you are experiencing is causing your physical experience. Constipation all the time, holding on to some people that you need to release, holding on to stuff that you need to let go of, holding on to something nasty you need to let go of. If you are suffering from diabetes, that's what's the use? Why am I here? No sweetness left in my life. We got to find your sweetness again. Stroke and high blood pressure is unresolved emotional issue not dealt with. What are you holding on to that you need to deal with and release and let go? See, we are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we have these people that know what we need to do to be better, to feel better, to release it all. I'm your sister, I'm your friend, I'm your gift. If you are somebody who is suffering from cancer or know somebody is, that is anger, deep hurt, regret, and deep grief that a person has internalized, and now it is cancer. And then it's all enhanced by all of the food that you now eat on top of that. Cancer doesn't grow overnight, it grows over time. And then eventually you start having symptoms about it, and then the doctors can now find it, but it's been there for a long time, festering, growing, building, and then everything you eat makes it grow more. Cancer is grown by fat, salt, and sugar. So that means when you are working to cure it, guess what comes out of your diet? Fat, salt, sugar. You got to go. How many people will be willing to change your diet right now to extend your life? How many people want the key that I got? I'm telling you that God did not give me this message for me. He gave it to me for somebody, and I don't know who it's for. And I hope that y'all don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me for just being the messenger, because that's all I am, is the messenger. I know that God speaks to me in my dreams. He speaks to me through people. And so I'm now working on a brand new book, because I'm going to put all the knowledge in the book. Because just in case you don't want to talk to me, you could just get it and go do it. I need to tell you. I want you to know. I want you to know that just like, Kemp is the money man. Just like he got all the knowledge on how to grow your money, he got the how, he know it. That's who you go to get that. But I got the knowledge for your health. I got it. And the message to me was, the reason why your money stuck is because the people don't know. The people don't know. You walked a path that many people would never walk. My girlfriend said, "Oh yeah, you my hero," because I don't know. She gonna say, this is what she said. You know how they got that viral video? Get somebody else to do it. She said that's what I would have told my ex-husband if he called me up and said he was sick. Get somebody else to do it. I didn't do it for him. I didn't do it for me. I did it for all of you. For all of you. My life was for all of you. Because I'm asking God, like, you got a sense of humor. Like, why are you going to send me back to somebody who told me they don't want me? He don't want me. Why are you sending me here? And all his people was not nice to me. So why are you sending me into this lion's den? But when I look back at it, I was in the lion's den, but so was God. Because they couldn't touch me. And in those days, my parents were alive, my mother, my father, and my sister. They showed up in the lion's den and stood around me and protected me while I did the work and didn't allow people to harass me and do all of the things that they were doing to try to take me off my square. When I tell you it was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life, it was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. But I now know that it was never for my ex-husband and that it was never for me. It's for now all of the lives that I now get to touch and get to remind you that you can have and be or do anything for real. But it so starts with your health. If your back hurting, your neck hurting, your legs hurting, now you limping, or now you bought the pants with the elastic in the waist. Don't you want your youthful figure back? These people that get that's 80 years old, that still can bench press and all that, you have the same power. You could do more than one push-up in a day. You got the power to take yourself back to, you have the power to decrease your body age. Your physical age will continue to go up. But the way you feel, I promise you, I don't feel 57. I'll be 58 in 2 months. I don't feel that. I jump double dutch, I skate, I can still run. And when I look at some of my friends and my peers that are my age, they can't do that. So clearly, I got the keys. I'm the living key. So what do you know about Darlaina Rose? What do you believe about Darlaina Rose? I heard somebody say, oh, I know she busy. She can't talk to me because I'm busy. Or she won't talk to me because, I don't know, she ain't going to talk to me. Not true. None of it. I'm not busy. I'm waiting for you to believe that you are worthy enough to pick up the phone and call me and get your answers. I got your answers. And not because I think I'm all this. I don't. God do. And God whispered in my ear, tell them. Remind them of who you are and what you are. And save them for me, please. Save my people from themselves. Remind them of how important they are to this life. Remind them of how important they are to their children, how important they are to their parents, how important they are to this world, how important you are to the experience of the people around you, how much people need to hear your laughter, how much people need to hear who you are. You are the one in your own family. You're the one teaching them how to be better and do better. But you can't do it if you get sick. You can't do it if you're not paying attention to that part. So you have to change your stuff. You got to take your multivitamin and your multimineral. You got to drink your water every day. You got to move your body for 15 minutes a day. I don't care if it's just walking up and down your own steps. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need nothing. Just go outside and put your feet in the grass. Just go outside and hug a tree. Just go outside to the water somewhere. Go outside and see the salvation of the Lord that we all serve. Go outside and see the gift of God because it's all in you. That body that you have, that heart that you don't got to think about making it pump, those breaths that you take that you don't have to think about making yourself breathe, that body that you woke up in this morning, be grateful for it and thankful for it, no matter what shape it's in, because that's the one you woke up in. Be thankful for those round lips and round hips and thick thighs, because that's what you woke up in. But it don't mean that you can't wake up this day and take care of yourself better. Even if all you do is drink water, the water is so life-giving. We are more water than we're anything else, but some of y'all skip it. You say, oh, well, I'm going to just drink this water. It just got a little bit of sugar and a little bit of Kool-Aid in it. No, it's not water anymore. Just water. You can add some lemon or some lime or some cucumbers. You can put some celery. You can put some parsley. You can put some stuff in it that's not going to change the fact that it's water. 8 glasses. Half your body weight. If you weigh 150 pounds, you should be drinking 75 ounces of water. Drink the water. And remember, I'm your sister. I'm your friend. I'm your doctor. I'm your answer. I'm your gift. I am in your service. Back to you, Mr. Satchel.
Y'all know me, right? Can y'all hear me right now?
Yes.
For instance, for anybody, I don't even, normally I would say, girl, go ahead, y'all give it up for Darlaina. But today, I'm going to do this. Now, I'm going to charge you. Because at the end of the day, she says she was my friend. She says she's my partner. She said all these good things. She's talking to him, Satchel. I know she is. I don't know whether she's talking to you guys, but I know for a fact, when I tell you I come to personal development for me, I don't come to see who's in this call. I'm not caring how many people are on the call. You know who I really care about in 23?
Me. You.
So I'm going to charge you this. This is the thing. Notice she said she's going to write a book and put all this information in the book. So I'm going to ask you at this point, I want to be the project child.
Okay.
See, a lot of you guys don't understand. Like when I look at Sabrina, I see her as the project. Is she doing actually, when you look at where her life has gone, is she a good representative for personal development today? You understand what I'm saying? So when I look at her, she's taking everything that we've shared with her and she just like, bam, 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 I'm gonna do it. You look at these folks that's literally giving the results of what you see. I can talk a good game. My finances could be in order. But if your finances, now watch this. I'm charging you. I said it today, and I'm doing it live. And it's being heard. In fact, this whole video, y'all will see that is being heard right now. The very first thing that she spoke on today, she said, you got to take charge over your health. And if you don't, you give the doctors the permission to kill you. That's the way I heard it. I don't know how you heard it, but that's what I heard, right? So at the end of the day, and I'm going to call you right after this daggone call. Many of you don't even understand how Darlaina got here. I do understand it. Many of you are not walking in our spirit to the point that I heard exactly what she said. It is very imperative, and I'm not going to say anything else. I'm done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If anybody want to share their thanks to her right now, open up your mics and do that. But at the end of the day, we don't have a call today. And we're not going to talk about it. I'm not talking about it no more. But it's a reason people keep telling me this. Hear me out. I'm that sick child right now. See, if I die tomorrow, how would you be okay?
No.
Think about that.
No.
Think about it. Who could die tomorrow? Would you be okay? And then at the end of the day, guys, you got to live with that the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Period. And then when you said it the way you said it, take control over and I kept hearing it. Y'all hear me say, take control over your life. I said, she just said, your wealth is your health. Am I making sense there?
Yes.
I ain't nothing else. Go ahead. Anybody else? I'm talking.
Bridget had her hand up.
Go ahead, Bridget.
There you go.
If anybody want to open up their mics and say something, y'all can open up your mics. I'm done. The call is over. It's 9:59. Have a great day on purpose. Lord have mercy, Jesus. I heard you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all ain't saying nothing. Open up your mic and say good stuff to her. Or y'all, maybe they didn't hear you.
You got them locked in. You got them locked up.
Yeah.
You got them in jail. They can't unmute because you got them in jail.
Sorry. I told you it for me.
Let them out of jail, Kemp.
Come on, y'all. Talk to me.
Thank you, Dr. Rose. Very eye-opening job.
Thank you, Darlaina.
Thanks for sharing your heart with us.
Thank you for such an amazing call.
Truly amazing.
Beautiful. Thank you for your transparency.
Amen.
I think we all can see the secret.
Yes.
Thank you, Doc, for unlocking us. Great call, Darlaina. Awesome. Definitely going to reach out and hear more about what we got to do.
Okay.
Gotta get this done because if I thought about it, if Kemp died tonight, I wouldn't be good with it. If you died tonight, I wouldn't be good with it. So y'all probably feel the same about me. We need to get busy.
The whole time I'm in jail.
All right, basically,
we ignore our help, so ignore us. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you shared about the heart because my son has had an episode in the hospital where they said it may be something with his heart, but it's not just, it's not a fact yet, but he felt numbness and he's 21.
Yeah.
Numbness, and he felt blurry vision on the weekend, and he went to the emergency room.
Yeah.
They kept him overnight, so it's definitely when he said something, maybe he needs to see a cardiologist. He told me a symptom that they told me I had. Maybe it's one of my doctors was telling me about something about hereditary stuff, but we're gonna talk about that too. And
thank you.
I'm believing for his healing because he's too young to be having this. I mean, I made it to 60, so if I make it to 60 or 70, praise God, I made it through this life a little bit to raise kids.
Yes.
He's 21, he needs life.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, for sure.
I'll reach out about a consultation.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Amen.
Good.
wow.
God is good.
Yes.
Woo.
So when you start talking, she talking to me today. Woo, that was just for me. I don't know. Woo, that was for me. If you ignore your health, you said the doctor's gonna kill you. The other day I was looking at some blood pressure medicine saying, I don't want to take this medicine.
Yeah.
I know we know it's harming. We caught between the rock and a hard place, and we know God is good. Like every time you take this medicine, how much life is taken off your life when you take this medicine?
Yes.
Let food be thy medicine.
Let that
What's that, Alan? What's that, Alan?
Food be thy medicine.
Yes.
Glory,
Let
glory.
food be thy medicine, not those pills and potions that they give you.
Yes.
Eat good food. Darlaina can help you with that. And plus supplements. But not that medicine crap.
Yes,
Side
sir.
effects.
Thank you, Alan.
Hippocrates said, "Let thy food be thy medicine thy food." Food is medicine. There's so much food that can cure everything. One of the issues that I had was high blood pressure, and for high blood pressure, you can, if it's high, you can take a shot of 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, mix it together, take it real quick. That'll bring it down fast. If it's really high, you can also take deep breaths, and that will bring it down as well. You can also infuse your water with celery, parsley, and cucumber. You can also juice those 3 things and drink that every day, and that will keep your blood pressure down as well. So there's so many things you can do. The emotional part has to be dealt with first so that you can resolve it. The emotions have to go, because if the emotions don't go, then it stays. So we want to clean the emotions up, then add the supplements and all the good food, and that's how you resolve everything in that order. So.
Wow, so powerful.
Recording stop.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I know that everybody is definitely excited. Sheila, where do you start to find out what we need? So start with a direct message, and then we'll put a consultation together, and you'll get all your stuff. Yes, you are what you eat, for real. So I thank you, everybody, for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll talk soon. Bye for now. All right. Thank you for watching.